So, tonight, we're going to talk of something most history books just pass right over. The lives of girls who worked in an old-time house. I know, sounds strange for a bedtime story, but really, it's a special piece of lost history, about real women just trying to get by. Oh, and if you are liking these stories, I'd truly like a like or subscribe. Very curious where you're all listening from, so drop a comment with your own location and what time it is for you. It always makes me wonder how people are falling asleep to this all over the world. All right, find that warm spot, take a nice, slow breath, and just let your body melt into whatever you are lying on. We're heading back to old-time London, and trust me, you're going to be real happy for that mattress by the time we're all done. So, good for you. You just woke up in London, 1857. The high point of that old time. It's early morning, maybe 5 or 6, and you are not in some pretty 4-post bed. You're lying on a kind of bumpy horsehair bed pad with a thin woolly blanket pulled over you. The sheets are not fresh. They're changed once a week at most, and they hold the soft smell of cheap flower water that does not quite hide the old smell under it. The room is cold. Coal for the small fireplace is given out with care, mostly in the morning hours. The walls are covered in faded flower paper, peeling a little at the corners where wetness has crept in. There's a smell that stays and hits your nose, a mix of coal smoke from many, many chimneys, the nearby river, with its own special smell of mud and dirty water, and something sweeter and more like a potion. The sweet smells and makeup that are the things for the work here. You're in a room at the back of a special house in the Haymarket part of London. Not the worst kind of house, not by a long way, but for sure not one of the fancy rich ones either. You share this small room with another girl. She's still asleep on the other small bed, her breathing deep and even, moving a little. You feel the springs of the bed pad creak under you. You stretch your legs, pointing your toes, feeling that tight pull, and then the nice feeling as you relax again. That's nice. Just taking a bit of time before the day starts. Outside, London is already up. You hear the clip-clop of horse feet on the stone roads, the rattle of cartwheels, and the first sellers in the street starting their calls. Fresh bread, someone calls out from a few streets away, the voice bouncing between the tall buildings. This is your life. Mary, they call you here, though that's not the name your mother gave to you. You have been at this house for almost 2 years now, which makes you a girl they all know. You've seen girls come and go. Some went on to better houses, some went back to the poor life they came from, some got sick and never got well. You sit up, slow, letting the blanket fall around your waist. The wood floor is cold on your bare feet as you reach for the woolly big scarf hanging on the bedpost, and wrap it all around your shoulders, nice and tight. That feels better. On the little table between the 2 beds sits a chipped clay jug and bowl. The water inside has a thin sheet of ice on top. Winter in London is very hard. You break it with your finger, the cold water hurting your skin before you splash your face. The shock of it fully wakes you, your breath stopping for a moment before calming down. Now, let's talk about how you got to be here, in this room, in this life, because the story might not be what you would think. You were not stolen or sold into this work as a child, though that did happen to some girls, mostly the ones who were very young. You were not tricked and left alone by some nice man, left with a baby and with nothing, though that too was a very common kind of tale. No, your path was more plain, and in many ways, more like the story of how most women found their way into this kind of work. You were a dressmaker, a good one, with quick fingers and a sharp eye for small things. But there were many, many women like you in London, thousands even, all trying for the same work that paid so poorly. The British Quarterly once wrote that, compared to the hard work of a dressmaker's helper, factory work was just like play, and they were not wrong. You would work 14, sometimes 16 hours a day, hurting your eyes in dim light, your fingers cracked and red in the winter, and for what? Pay so small that it barely kept a roof over your head. You lean back against the wall now, feeling its strong back behind you, taking a deep breath. You roll your shoulders, feeling some of the tight feeling go away. That's better, just easy and relaxed now. You remember the moment it changed so well. It was winter 3 years ago. You had not eaten in 2 whole days. The room you paid for was not warm, and you could see your breath like a cloud in the air as you worked so fast to finish a job order that might pay enough for a week's place to stay. Your fingers were so cold, you kept poking them with the needle, leaving tiny red spots on the fine white cloth. A girl you knew, Jane, came to see you. You had worked with her once. She looked different, healthier, more well-fed, wearing a wool dress that, while not in style by rich people's ways, was clean and warm and very well made. She brought food, real hot food, a meat pie still steaming in its paper, and sat with you while you ate it all up, trying not to look as so very sad as you felt. "There's a place," she said at last, "a house near Haymarket. The lady is firm but fair, no bad things, no mean ways, 2 meals a day, and a good bed. Doctor checks weekly." She stopped, watching your face. "You'd make in a night what you'd make in a week here, Mary, and you would not be killing yourself with this." She pointed at the pile of sewing. You did not answer right away. You had been brought up well, in a good, kind home. But your parents were gone, your brothers gone far away, looking for work, and here you were, slowly dying from hunger, one single stitch at a time. The weight of that old memory sits on you, and you feel yourself sinking a little deeper into the bedpad. Your breathing slows on its own, in and out, just like that. The house is starting to wake up around you. You hear feet on the stairs, heavy ones, most likely Mrs. Winters, the housekeeper. There's the sound of coal being moved, a fire being lit down in the front room where the visitors wait. The smell of coffee comes up, real coffee, not the cheap kind. This house is very proud of small, nice things. Your roommate moves, saying something in her sleep before turning over. Lily, she's called here. She's younger than you by a few years, maybe 19 to you're 24, with red-brown hair that the men seemed to like. She came from a big factory in Manchester. She told you once. The noise of the big machines had made her a bit deaf in one ear. Time to get up. For real. You have rules to follow, things to do. Mrs. Winters runs a strict house, and being late is not allowed. The lady, Mrs. Cartwright, to her face, though the girls call her Carty when she is not around, wants everyone downstairs and nice and clean by noon. The special house runs on a set time plan. Mornings are for cleaning, washing, and rest. Afternoons see a few men who come often, men from work on long lunch times. Mainly, evenings and nights are the most busy times, with the house often full, until the very early hours. But now, in this quiet morning time, you take your time. You reach for the tin on the little side table, and take out the small piece of beeswax inside. warming it between your hands. You then put it over your dry lips. Another small, nice thing. Mrs. Cartwright says that the girls must take care of themselves. You're selling make-believe, girls, she often says. Gentlemen don't want to see the real life of a working woman's life. You find yourself nodding a little at the thought. Good words, really. Most of the men who come here don't want real life. They want a story, a way out, something different from their proper wives and homes, something that makes them feel special, or strong, or just seen. Standing up, you stretch fully, arms reaching up to the low ceiling, feeling the nice pull in your muscles. Your nightdress, a simple cotton thing, nothing like the silken lace creations you wear for your work, falls down around your ankles as you move to the small closet. During the day, when not seeing guests, you wear plain clothes, a simple dress, plain shoes, nothing that would show you were different from any other working woman on the streets of London. That's key. While special houses themselves are not against the law, public asking for work is. The police mostly leave known houses alone, mostly those that pay the secret pay, but being quiet is still needed. You pick a dark blue dress, a bit faded but well fixed, and lay it on the bed. Getting dressed is a slower thing than it will be later, when you might need to change fast between visitors. Now you can take your time, liking the way it is always done. Stockings first, then a slip, then a body shaper. As you dress, you think about the day to come. Tuesday is mostly quiet. There might be a few men who come often in the afternoon. Mr. Phillips, the bank worker, who comes every other week, and mostly wants to talk about his stamp book. Or maybe the shy young man who gives his name as Smith, and never stays for longer than 15 minutes. Outside, the sounds of London get louder as the morning goes on. A group of children run past, below the window, their high voices rising above the big noise. A dog barks somewhere close. A street seller starts his singing call, knives to grind, knives to grind. The normal feel of it all still sometimes feels strange to you. This life, this work that people say is bad, the worst thing for a woman, happens right next to plain London life. The baker brings fresh bread to the special house, just as he does to the nice boarding house next door. The coal man, the iceman, the washwoman, all come and go, giving the same help they give to any home. You sit back down on the edge of the bed, taking a moment just to breathe. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Nice and easy. That's it. There's a quiet knock at the door. Hot water, miss, comes a voice. Young Betsy, the girl who helps all. She's only 13, too young for the house's main work. Mrs. Cartwright took her in when she found her asking for food on the street, so very hungry. Now she helps the housekeeper, runs small jobs, and sleeps in a tiny room by the kitchen. In a few years, she'll likely join the other girls, but for now, she's kept safe, which is more than can be said for many children on London's streets. Come in, Betsy, you call. The door opens, and the girl comes in, holding a large jug of steaming water. Her face is freshly washed, her brown hair in a neat braid. Morning, Miss Mary, she says with a smile, pouring the hot water into your bowl. Cold one today. Mrs. Winters says there might be snow later. Thank you, Betsy, you say, giving her a smile. Had your breakfast yet? Yes, Miss Cook made porridge with sweet syrup. There's coffee in the kitchen, if you want some, and fresh bread, too. This is another thing that makes this house better than some regular meals, good food. In the worst special houses, girls might go hungry if work is slow, or be fed food bits barely fit for eating. Here, Mrs. Cartwright knows that healthy girls earn more money. Betsy leaves, and you wash well with the hot water, liking the warmth. On your skin, the way you do it is calming. Face first, then neck, arms, under your arms, and at last, a quick wash of your most private parts. Full washing happens 2 times a week in this house, Wednesdays and Sundays. In the big copper tub that's brought into the kitchen, it's more often than many proper working-class women do, really. Once washed, you feel more like a person. You run a comb through your hair, dark brown, thick, reaching halfway down your back when it's down. For daytime, you twist it into a simple knot at the back of your neck. Later, for work, you'll style it in a fancy way, maybe with the notrial hair piece that adds more hair and curls. There's a small mirror sitting on the dresser, its shiny back spotted with age. You check your face for a moment. Your face is looking better than it did in your dressmaker days. Regular food has filled out the low spots in your cheeks, added a healthier color to your skin. Your eyes, though, they have changed. More careful now, more watchful. You've seen things, know things, that the young girl from the country never dreamed of. You shake off the moment of looking back. No use thinking of such thoughts. Instead, you work on finishing dressing, lacing your boots with skilled fingers, each move right and well known, getting into the rhythm of the job. Your breathing on its own slows, in and out, steady and calm. Fully dressed now, you're ready to face the day. Your first job will be breakfast, then helping with the general cleaning of the house. Each girl has given jobs. Yours include dusting the front room and shining the glasses in the small bar spot. Mrs. Cartwright thinks doing nothing leads to trouble, so even when not seeing visitors, the girls are kept busy. Lily finally moves for real, sitting up with a yawn. Morning, she mumbles, pushing her messy hair from her face. What time is it? Just past 7, you tell her. Plenty of time yet. She nods, stretching her arms above her head. Had that dream again, she says, the one about the ocean side. Have you ever been, Mary, to the sea? Once, you say, thinking of a rare family trip years ago, Brighton, when I was small. I'd like to go someday, Lily says, her voice full of wishes. They say the air is different there, cleaner, that you can breathe for real. This is a common dream among the girls, saving enough to get away from London to start a new life somewhere else. Some do it, most do not. The money that seems so good next to other women's work still goes away. Some to a room and food, some to clothes and things needed for the job, some to small good things and nice things that make the life okay. You will, you tell her, though you're not sure you believe it. Keep putting a little aside each week, even just a small coin, it adds up. She nods, but you both know how hard it is to save. There's always something, a bad tooth needing care, a dress torn so it can't be fixed, a friend who needs help. Life has a way of taking whatever small extra you try to build. You feel a moment of sadness at the thought, then on purpose, let it go. Your shoulders drop a little as you breathe out. That's better, just easy now. I'll see you downstairs, you tell Lily, who is finally getting up. Don't be too long. Mrs. Winters was stomping about earlier, and you know what that means. She's in a mood. Lily agrees with a frown. I'll hurry. You leave the room, closing the door softly behind you. The small hallway is softly lit, with worn carpet running its length. There are 4 other bedrooms on this floor, all like yours. Downstairs are the main rooms, the front room where visitors are met, a small dining room, the kitchen and helper spots at the back, the best bedroom, saved for Mrs. Cartwright's own use, is on the ground floor, letting her watch the comings and goings. The house itself is small but tall, pushed between like buildings on a side street. It's nicely kept up on the outside, with clean curtains in the windows and a newly painted door. Nothing shows that it is a special house. There's no red light, no clear sign. Visitors know to come here through word of mouth, through quiet ads in certain papers, through the group of cab drivers and hotel helpers who get pay for sending men this way. As you go down the stairs, the smell of coffee gets stronger, mixing now with baking bread and frying bacon. Your stomach growls at the smell. The wooden stairs creak a little under your feet, a homey, well-known sound. You run your hand along the rail, feeling its smoothness from years of like touches. The house is warming up now, as fires are lit in the main rooms. That London chill that stays is going away, at least inside these walls. You can hear the housekeeper's voice from the kitchen, giving orders to the cook, the normal home sounds of any house starting its day. And for now, in this moment, it could almost be any house, any life. There's a beat to the morning that's calming in how you know it will be. A pattern that moves you forward, one step at a time, through each day. You feel your body getting into that beat, your breathing matching its soft pace, in and out, easy and calm. You stop at the bottom of the stairs, taking a moment just to be. Your muscles feel loose and nice, your mind quiet. Even with everything, there's a certain peace in this moment, in the simple truth of being alive, of having made it through another night, in a city that eats up so many. The kitchen door is open, warm light pouring into the hallway. You can see the cook at the stove, her wide back turned to you as she works. Betsy is setting the table in the corner, where the helpers and girls eat together. Mrs. Winters is reading a letter, her glasses sitting on her nose, her gray hair neatly put under a cap. A plain scene, a moment of calm before the busy dance of the day starts. You take a deep breath, filling your lungs all the way, and then let it out, slow. Your shoulders drop, tight feelings flowing away like water. You're ready now. You step forward into the kitchen's warmth, into the mixed smells of coffee and bread and wood smoke, into the quiet talk of the starting day. There's bacon frying in the pan, its rich smell making your mouth water a little. Your stomach gives another little growl of wanting. "Morning, Mary," says the cook, without turning around. She has a strange way to know each person by their steps. "Sleep well." "Well enough," you answer, moving to help Betsy with the table things. The way of it is nice, the well-known weight of the plates, the right placing of the forks and knives. Your hands move on their own while your mind floats, nice and not thinking hard. Outside, London keeps on waking. A church bell rings in the distance, marking the time. Voices call in the street, sellers, neighbors, children. The endless song of the city rises and falls like a breath, in and out. Like waves at that oceanside Lily dreams of seeing, rising and falling, a gentle beat that moves you along as you sink deeper into the well-known ways of the day. Your body relaxed and nice, your breathing steady and slow. As you move around the warm kitchen, helping get ready for breakfast with the others, the smell of fresh bread gets stronger as the cook takes a loaf from the oven, its top golden brown and crackling a little as it cools. The kitchen table is big and long, marked with years of use. 8 chairs are pushed around it, enough for the 5 girls now working in the house, plus Mrs. Winters, Betsy, and cook. Mrs. Cartwright takes her meals by herself in her private sitting room, keeping the space that she thinks is needed for good running of the house. You slide into your normal chair, feeling the smooth, worn wood under you. The seat has been shined by years of use, shaped by many, many bodies before yours. There's something nice about that lasting on, that shared feeling across time. You settle in, feeling the strong support under you. Cook brings over a large pot of porridge, setting it in the middle of the table with a happy thud. It's good porridge, thick and creamy, made with milk and not water, sweetened with a spoonful of sweet syrup. Another of the small, nice things that marks this house as a step above the most simple places. Eat up while it's hot, Cook says, her wide face red from the stove's heat. She's a widow, in her 50s, came to work here after her husband's death left her with nothing. Never says a word on the kind of the business, just cooks and keeps to herself. Makes sure the girls eat well, thinks good food is the start of health. You help yourself to a big bowl, the steam rising in sweet-smelling curls. The first spoonful is hot and sweet on your tongue. The feel smooth and nice. You close your eyes. For a second, just liking the simple joy of good food when you're hungry. The other girls come in slowly. First, Emily, a small blonde who's been here about 6 months. Then Sarah, older than most, at near 30, with a no-fuss way and a surprise skill for numbers. She helps Mrs. Cartwright with the books. Last is Josephine, the newest, still getting used to the life, her eyes often red from private tears. Lily finally shows up, hair quickly pinned up, still looking half asleep. She slides into the chair next to you, just as Mrs. Winters starts pouring the coffee. Nearly missed breakfast, you whisper, passing her the porridge pot. Worth it, for an extra 10 minutes in bed, she whispers back with a small smile. The coffee here is another nice thing, real coffee, not the cheap, pretend kind that most working homes have to use, strong and hot, sweetened with sugar for those who want it. You hold the cup in both hands, feeling its warmth soak into your fingers, nice and cozy. The rich smell rises with the steam, rich and a little bitter. Breakfast is a mostly quiet thing. There's a rule not spoken against talking about work this early. Instead, the talk moves to plain topics, the weather, a funny story about the butcher's delivery boy falling in the alley yesterday. Talk about if the vegiseller's wife is having a baby. Normal talk, everyday things, the kind of talk that happens around thousands of breakfast tables across London every morning. This normal feel is important, a reminder that even with the kind of the work, this is also just a place where people live, eat, sleep, and go about their daily lives. You feel yourself relaxing into this plain moment, your shoulders dropping a little, your breathing deep and even. The food settles, warm in your stomach, giving strength for the day to come. You take another sip of coffee, liking the rich bitterness. After breakfast, the day's jobs begin. The house runs on a strict time plan, with special jobs given to each girl, not just to be quick, but because Mrs. Cartwright thinks that doing things the same way and having a job helps keep order and stops the mess that hurts houses not run so well. Today, your morning jobs include dusting the front room and shining the glassware in the small bar spot. Simple, same again, tasks that let your mind float while your hands stay busy. There's something like a quiet prayer about such work. The steady motion, the slow change from dusty to clean, dull to shining. The front room is the main public room of the house, where visitors are first met. It's decorated in a style that might be called proper, with hints of nice things. Solid furniture in dark wood, covered in red velvet that's a bit worn at the arms, but still soft. Heavy curtains in a matching color, tied back during the day to let in what little London sunlight comes through the forever haze of coal smoke. A few carefully picked paintings on the walls, country scenes mostly, with one a bit suggestive old-time scene with draped water ferries. Nothing too clear, nothing that would right away show this as a special house to a quick looker. That's on purpose. Keeping a thin cover of being proper protects everyone. If a police officer did come in, there would be nothing to see right away to get in trouble for, just a private home with a few young women living there. Strange, maybe, but not clearly against the law. You begin your dusting, working in a set way around the room. Feather duster first for the bigger spots, then a slightly wet cloth for the more detailed work. The well-known motions are calming, needing just enough watching to keep your mind busy without asking for deep thinking. As you work, you can hear the house around you. Mrs. Winters telling Betsy on the right way to blacken the kitchen stove. Cook humming with no tune as she works dough for the day's bread. Lily's light steps overhead as she makes the beds. Plain home sounds that could belong to any house. The fireplace shelf holds a few pretty things. A china shepherd girl, a small brass clock, a pair of fancy urns. You dust each one with care, putting them back in the exact same spots. Mrs. Cartwright sees if things are moved, even a little. The clock ticks, slow and steady, marking the peaceful morning beat. Through the window, you can see a small piece of London life, a maid beating a rug in the small yard behind the house next door, a cat picking its way so carefully along a garden wall, a boy running with a note held tight in his hand. You move to the small bar in the corner of the room. It's not fancy, just a cabinet holding glasses and a few bottles of strong drinks. Most visitors are offered a glass of sherry or brandy when they first come, a social nice thing, a way of smoothing the deal. The glasses need shining. They get a film in London's air, even when not used. You take each one, breathing softly on it, before rubbing with a soft cloth in round motions. The glass makes a soft, squeaking sound as it comes clean, shining in the dim light in bright spots. The same motion is almost like a trance, round and round. Your breathing on its own matches with the movement, in as you start the circle, out as you finish it, slow and steady. Your hands know just how much push to use, enough to clean well without a risk of breaking the fine crystal. Time passes in peace as you work. The morning light moves slowly, painting slow-moving shapes on the floor. Your mind floats to nice, easy thoughts. The afternoon to come, the book you're slowly reading in your free time. Dickens' latest, borrowed from Sarah, who gets them from a visitor who owns a bookshop. The new ribbon you might buy for your hair, if work is good this week. Simple thoughts, now concerns. You've learned not to think too much on the past, or worry too far into the future. This life teaches you to live mostly in the now, to take each day, each hour, each moment as it comes. The sound of the front door opening and closing brings you back to full awareness. Heavy steps in the hallway, a man's walk, then Mrs. Cartwright's voice, pitched lower than she uses with the girls, her tone all business but warm. "Good morning, Doctor. Thank you for coming so fast. It's Wednesday, doctor checkup day. Every week, the doctor comes to check the girls for signs of sickness. It's one of Mrs. Cartwright's most strict rules, and one of the reasons her house keeps its good name. In many special houses, sickness runs wild, with terrible results for both the women and their visitors. Here, any girl showing signs is right. Away taken off work and cared for, costly in the short time, but making sure the business can last a long time. You finish shining the last glass, setting it carefully in place. The doctor's coming means a change in the day's beat. Checkups will take most of the morning, done in Mrs. Cartwright's private sitting room, changed for a bit into a doctor's room. Each girl will be seen by herself. The results written in a small notebook that Mrs. Cartwright keeps locked in her desk. You return the shining cloth to the kitchen, where Mrs. Winters is now watching Betsy's work at Veggie Prep. Carrots and onions are being chopped for the noon stew, their fresh, earthy smell mixing with the yeasty smell of rising bread dough. Front room's done. You tell Mrs. Winters, "Shall I help here until the doctor's ready for me?" She looks up from checking Betsy's knife work. No need. He's seeing Josephine first, then Lily. You have time for your washing if you want. Personal washing is done by each girl, each one in charge of her own private things. The house washwoman comes only for sheets, towels, and bigger pieces. So once a week, mostly on Wednesdays, before bathing, you wash your personal things. The cloths used for monthly times, under things, stockings. You get your basket from the small closet off the kitchen and carry it through to the washroom at the back of the house. It's cooler here, with a stone floor and a large sink. You pump cold water into a copper tub, then add a kettle of hot water from the stove to take the chill off. The body work of washing is nice, the steady movement of hands in water, the change of dirty to clean. You work in a set way, rubbing soap into the cloth, working it with your fingers, washing it out. Well, the water turns gray, tiny soap bubbles, catching the light in rainbow colors. This quiet, needed job gives you time to think. The doctor's visit always makes you think. It's a reminder of the risks of this life, the sicknesses that can hurt a woman's body, bringing pain, changing how you look, and, in the end, death. You've seen it happen to others. A cough that stays and gets worse, not better. Strange sores that don't heal. The sure signs that mean a girl will soon be gone from the house, usually to one of the charity hospitals, if she's lucky, or to suffer alone, if she's not. So far, you've been lucky. Careful. Mrs. Cartwright insists that certain protections are taken with all visitors. Not a sure thing, but better than nothing. And the weekly checkups catch problems early when they can still be fixed. Still, you know this luck cannot last forever. Few women make it more than a few years in this work without getting something. You wring out the last piece, a cotton undershirt, twisting it hard to get the extra water out. The muscles in your forearms tighten with the motion, a nice feeling of strength and skill. Your hands, even with the harsh soap and water, are still pretty soft and smooth. Another needed thing for the work. Carrying the wet washing, you head out to the small yard behind the kitchen. A clothesline goes from the house to a post near the wall, and you hang your things with care, using wooden pegs to hold them against the wind. The air is cold but dry, good drying weather. If the snow, they say, is coming, holds off. The yard is tiny, just a small square of flat stones, with a few weak plants in pots, but it's open to the sky, and after the closed-in house, you take a moment just to breathe the outside air. It's not fresh by any country way. London's air is always dirty with smoke and fog, but it's cooler and cleaner than inside. You tilt your face up, feeling the weak winter sunlight on your skin, a rare moment of pure body joy, asking nothing of you, just the feeling of light and air. Your breathing gets deeper on its own. your chest opening more fully. That feels good, just taking a moment for yourself. The back door opens, and Lily pokes her head out. Doctor's almost done with me. You're next, she says. Then, seeing your face, looking up, anything good up there in the sky? You smile, lowering your look. Just the normal ... sun clouds, freedom. She snorts softly, knowing the half-joke. The promise of warm food and drink is nice to think of after the cold yard. You follow Lily inside, feeling the heat of the kitchen wrap you like a hug. The change makes your skin tingle nicely as blood flow comes back to your chilled fingers. The kitchen is the heart of the house, the warmest room where everyone goes in their free time. Now, with noon coming near, it's busy with food prep. Cook stands at the large table, rolling out dough for a meat pie, her strong arms covered with flour to the elbows. Mrs. Winters sits in the corner chair that's kind of hers, fixing a stocking with tiny, right stitches. You take a mug of tea from Lily, wrapping your hands around its warmth. The steam rises, carrying the sweet-smelling, a little bitter smell. You blow softly across the top, watching the little waves spread in growing circles. You ask Lily, quiet, talking about the checkup. She shrugs. Same as always. Cold hands, few questions. Right in the book. All clear. She stops, then adds in an even lower voice. Josephine wasn't, though. I heard Mrs. Cartwright telling her she's on rest for at least a week. Medicine 3 times daily. You nod, not surprised. Josephine has looked pale lately, with dark rings under her eyes and a cough that stays. A bell rings from the front of the house, Mrs. Cartwright calling the next girl for a checkup. That's you, Lily says, taking a bite of her little bun. Don't worry, he's in a good mood today. Barely poked at all. You set down your tea with a small sigh of sadness. It was just getting to the perfect drinking warmth, but the doctor won't be kept waiting. His time is worth a lot. His help in demand across a few like houses. On their own, work habits learned after 2 years. Always look your best, even for something as doctor-like as a medical checkup. The sitting room has been changed for the doctor's visit. The small rosewood desk is cleared of its normal papers and pretty things, covered now with a clean white cloth. Small glass bottles of different liquids, a notebook and pencil. The comfy armchair has been pushed back to make room for a straight-backed wooden chair. Unlike many doctors who work in this business, he doesn't treat the women with scorn or unneeded roughness. His way is all business. His touch, doctor-like, not punishing. He wears a wedding ring and once talked of children going to university. You sometimes wonder what his proper family would think of his work with women like you. Any worries to report? This is his usual start, a knowing that you are a person, not just a body to be checked. A small, nice act that matters more than it should. Well enough, thank you, doctor, you reply. No worries, he nods, drying his hands on a clean towel. Good, good. Well then, shall we start? Mrs. Cartwright sits quietly in the corner, there as a watcher, and to write the results, but placed so as not to see the real checkup. Another small bit of pride in a spot that could easy have none. The checkup itself is short, but full, breathing, heart rate. Look at the throat and eyes, then the more private check, quick and not personal. His touch safe, with thin gloves. You've learned to pull away from yourself during this part, to think of other things. The book waiting in your room. The taste of the little bun you'll have when this is over. The feel of sunshine on your face in the yard. All seems to be in order, he says, at last, stepping back and taking off his gloves. Continue as you are. He makes a note in his book, then nods to Mrs. Cartwright, who gets up and walks you to the door. In the hallway, she whispers, "Send Sarah in next, please," before going back to the room. The checkup leaves you feeling a bit empty, as it always does, not because of any pain or bad feeling. There was none, but because of the making of your person into a set of body workings, to be looked at and judged. Needed, yes, for your own safety as much as anyone's, but still, there's an emptiness that follows. The solid mug feels good in your hands, grounding you back in your body after the doctor-like break. You take a long sip, then reach for one of the little buns. It's still a bit warm, the little fruits plump and sweet against the plain taste of the dough. The clock in the hallway strikes 12. Noon already. The morning has passed fast, as it usually does on busy days. Soon the house will change into its afternoon way. You finish your tea and bun, brushing crumbs from your dress. There's time for a quick stop in your room before the afternoon starts, a chance to check how you look, maybe change into something a little more right for getting visitors than your morning work dress. The stairs creak in a known way underfoot. As you climb to the upper floor, the house has settled into its noon quiet, that short break between morning jobs and afternoon work. Even the sounds from outside seem hushed, as if the whole street is taking one big breath. Your room welcomes you with its known shapes and smells. Small, yes, and plain by rich people's ways, but still yours, in a way few spaces have been. The bed where you started your day, the small chest where you keep your clothes, and few things. You catch sight of yourself in the small mirror. Nothing marks you in sight as what the world would call fallen. No red letter, no seen sign of a moral wrong. The two-faced way of it all still hits you sometimes. How the same world that says, "Women like you are bad," makes the life that makes this life needed, then gives the visitors who make it pay. But deep thoughts won't get you through the afternoon. You open the chest, thinking what to wear. Not the finest things, those are saved for evening, when the richer visitors come, but something a step up from the plain work dress. You pick a blue dress with a little more in-style lines, made of cotton, not wool, with a touch of lace at the collar. Proper enough not to scare, pretty enough to tempt. Changing is quick. You're skilled at dressing and undressing fast. The fresh dress feels good on your skin, the cloth lighter than the strong work dress. You check your hair, adding a few pins where needed, and pinch your cheeks lightly to bring color to them. No makeup yet, those two are saved for evening. Daytime visitors want a more natural look, in keeping with the story that this is somehow a sudden meeting, not a business deal. Ready now? You sit on the edge of the bed for a moment, just breathing slow and deep, in through your nose, out through your mouth, getting yourself ready in your mind for the change from private person to a working one. The line between the two is key, a safe wall that helps keep some core of self safe among the needs of the work. Your body feels relaxed, your mind clear. The bed holds you up nicely as you sit, your weight sinking a little into the bedpad. That linked to the body world, the solid truth of things, of feelings, helps center you. You run your hand over the blanket beside you, feeling it's a bit rough. Feel on your palm, real, here, now. From downstairs comes the sound of the front door opening, then closing. Voices in the hallway. Mrs. Cartwright's businesslike welcome, a man's deeper sounds in answer. The afternoon has started. You rise from the bed, smoothing your dress one last time, a final deep breath, filling your lungs all the way. before letting it out slowly. Your shoulders drop as the air leaves you, tight feelings flowing away like water. You're ready now. The door handle is cool under your fingers as you pull it open. The hallway stretches before you, the stairs leading down to where life keeps on with its busy dance. Each step feels thought out as you move forward. Your breathing steady and even, your body balanced and in place. Just like that, easy and calm. The wood of the rail is smooth under your trailing hand, shined by many like trips. The house creaks and settles. Around you, a living thing with its own beats and ways. You become part of that way, flowing with it, not against it, each breath matching its soft pulse. Nice and easy, that's it. Moving forward, one step at a time, into the still-going day. The front room is already in use when you get to the bottom of the stairs. Mrs. Cartwright stands near the fireplace, one hand resting so well on the fireplace shelf as she speaks to a visitor. The man has his back to you, middle-aged by the look of his body, dressed in a well-cut but not showy dark coat. A man from work, most likely. You stop in the doorway, waiting to be seen. Mrs. Cartwright looks up, gives you a small nod. Leave to enter. Ah, and here is Mary now, she says, smooth. Mary, this gentleman was just asking after some nice company for an hour or so. The visitor turns, showing a face that fits your first thought, around 45, with graying hair at the sides and the sun-worn skin of someone who spends time outside. His look is polite but a bit unsure. A new visitor then. Oh, how do you do, sir, you say, dropping a small bow. Not too deep, just enough to show right manners. Your voice is different now, a touch softer, a bit more fancy than your normal speech. The work voice learned through watching and doing. Charles Wilson, he says of himself, bowing a little in return. Probably not his real name. Many visitors use other names, but that hardly matters. Would you care for some drink, Mr. Wilson? Mrs. Cartwright asks, pointing to the small bar. You shined earlier. A glass of sherry, perhaps, or brandy if you like it. It's part of the show, this offer of a drink. It makes the feel of a social call, not a business deal. Most men take it, using the time to look at the women and calm their nerves if they're new to the house. Sherry would be most welcome, he says, and Mrs. Cartwright moves to pour it, her movements pretty and sure. You take the chance to study him more with care. His clothes are good stuff, but show signs of wear. A man from work doing well enough, but not over the top. So, his hands show more, a bit rough, with clean but cut nails. Someone who works with his hands sometimes, even with the business clothes. A seller, maybe, or a shop owner who still helps with the goods. Mrs. Cartwright hands him the glass of amber drink, then excuses herself with skilled quietness. I'll leave you two to get to know each other. The blue room is open when you're ready. And with that, she slips from the front room, closing the door softly behind her. Now it's just the two of you, standing a few feet apart in the quiet room. The fire crackles softly in the grate, sending moving patterns of light across the walls. Outside, you can hear the soft sounds of London, a cart passing, voices calling, the far-off whistle of a train. Please, sit down, you say, pointing to one of the armchairs by the fire. Make yourself at home, he does, sitting a bit stiffly on the edge of the seat. Nervous, then? You take the chair on the other side, placing your skirts with a skilled motion, not too close, giving him room, not looking too keen. The dance has its steps, its beat. Is this your first visit to Mrs. Cartwright's place, you ask? though you already know the answer. He takes a sip of sherry before answering. Is it that clear? You smile, just a little, not at all. I simply haven't had the joy of your company before, and I know all our men who come often. This seems to relax him a bit. He leans back, a little in the chair, the stiff line of his shoulders getting soft. Yes, it's my first time. A work friend suggested the address, said it was proper. That word again, proper. So important in this world. This time, the thin cover that makes the bad thing okay. That lets men like Mr. Wilson visit places like this without having to see what they're really doing. Mrs. Cartwright runs a very right house, you agree. You'll find everything here is done with quietness and good taste. He nods, takes another sip of his sherry. You see his hand is more steady now. The first unsureness is fading as the well-known social ways take over. For all its not allowed nature, this meeting follows rules that are nicely known. And you, Miss Mary, was it? Have you been here long? It's a common question. Part wondering, part checking of your time here, part try to make this feel like normal talk. Nearly 2 years, you answer the truth in this case. No need for more talk. The conversation goes on in this way for a few minutes. Light, not personal topics. The weather, the recent show at the Crystal Palace, a soft talk of his work as a bringer-in of tea and spices. Nothing too personal, nothing too showing, just enough to make a small link, to ease the change from strangers to what comes next. You watch him as he speaks, seeing the small things that will help you give what he's looking for. His way is quiet, but not cold. His look meets yours, steady, without the sneaky way some men have. He seems lonely, maybe a man whose wife died, or a man whose wife has been long sick, someone looking for not just body release, but human warmth. As he finishes his sherry, you feel the moment has come. The first conversation has done its job. Now the real work must be talked of. Would you care to keep on with our talk somewhere more private, Mr. Wilson? You ask, your voice soft. He sets down his empty glass, nods. Yes, I believe I would. You rise from your chair, feeling the smooth muscle move in your legs, the small shift as you find your balance. The fire has warmed the room nicely, and your body feels loose and nice. You offer your hand to him, not a demand, just an offer. This way then. He takes your hand for a moment as he stands, then lets it go. You lead him from the front room, through the hallway, and up the stairs. It's simply decorated, but nice, with a large bed, a washstand, and a small chest of drawers, holding the needed things. The deal itself is not special. Mr. Wilson is polite, not rough, thankful for the warmth and care. He stays for the full hour he's paid for, though the body act takes only a small part of that time. The rest is spent in quiet talk, his head resting on your shoulder, your hand stroking his hair, soft. This, too, is part of what he's bought, the make-believe of closeness, of being cared for. When the time is up, Mrs. Cartwright has a clock that chimes in the hallway, getting rid of the need for unsure reminders. He dresses fast, but not in a rush. Of spots, thank you, he says, simply, as he gets ready to leave. He presses a small extra coin into your hand, a tip, a sign of thanks. You've been very kind. It was my joy, you answer, the work phrase coming on its own. But in this case, it was not all untrue. As visitors go, Mr. Wilson was thoughtful, clean, and not hard. In this life that counts as a good meeting, you show him to the stairs, where Mrs. Winters appears as if by magic to walk him the rest of the way down. The housekeeper will see him out, quiet, making sure he does not meet anyone coming in. Keeping the make-believe of privacy and being special is key for the house's good name. Once he's gone, you return to the blue room. Now comes the part of the job that visitors never see, the cleaning up, the getting ready for the next visitor. You strip the used sheet from the bed, fast, bundling it for the wash. From the chest, you take a fresh one, shaking it out with a skilled flick before smoothing it over the bedpad. The pillowcase is changed to the used one added to the wash pile. At the washstand, you clean yourself well with the cloth and water given. Each visitor stays his own, each meeting kept to itself. There's a certain show to it that helps keep walls. The used water is put into the slop bucket under the stand to be emptied later by Betsy. You refill the bowl from the large jug, making sure everything is ready for the next use. The towels are straightened, the small cake of soap put back on its dish. At last, you check how you look in the mirror hanging over the chest. Your hair is a bit messy. You fix it with a few quick movements of your fingers. Your dress has a small line where Mr. Wilson held it. You smooth this away with your palm. Your face looks back at you, not changed. The same eyes, the same mouth, still you. This moment of quiet after a visitor leaves is oddly peaceful. A stop between acts, a breath between words. You let yourself simply stand there for a moment, feeling the solid wood floors under your feet, listening to the house's small sounds, the ticking of the clock, the far-off clatter from the kitchen, the soft voices from downstairs. Your breathing falls into a natural beat, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Your shoulders drop a bit as tight feelings let go. This, too, is part of the work, learning to let go, to not carry one meeting into the next. Easy now. That's it. The hallway clock strikes 3, the afternoon moving on. You gather the bundle of used cloths and leave the blue room, pulling the door closed behind you. The wash goes down the back stairs to the washroom, where it joins the growing pile for the washwoman who comes tomorrow. In the kitchen, you find Lily and Emily sitting at the table, sharing a pot of tea. They look up as you come in. "Wilson," Lily asks, pushing a clean cup toward you. "New one, isn't he?" You nod, pouring yourself some tea. "Seems good enough. Man whose wife died, I think, tea seller." This kind of talk is common, sharing news about visitors, mostly new ones. It's partly gossip, partly real work. Knowing what to expect from each visitor makes the work easier, safer, better than my afternoon, Emily says, with a frown. Old Mr. Peterson again, same as always, wants to talk about his box of snuff for 45 minutes, then 5 minutes of the most machine-like, well, you know, and always smelling of those awful candies he sucks. You smile with sympathy, settling into a chair with your tea. The strong wooden seat feels good under you, holding your weight after standing. At least he's quick about that part. Small good things, Emily agrees, with a sad laugh. This friendship is one of the not expected good things of the life. There's a togetherness among the women here, a shared knowing that makes bonds, even with the trying to win nature of the work. You can speak freely with each other in a way that would be not possible with outsiders. No need to explain, to make right, to protect, just taking the real life you all share. The kitchen is warm and nice after the cooler blue room. Cook is getting veggies ready for the evening meal, the steady sound of her knife on the cutting board making a calming background to the talk. The smell of baking bread fills the air, the second batch of the day for tonight's dinner. You take a sip of tea, feeling its warmth spread through your chest. It's good tea, another of the house's small nice things. Mrs. Cartwright knows that. Well-fed, comfy girls earn more and make fewer problems. The food here is plain, but a lot. The small comfort enough to make you want to stay. Anyone else booked for this afternoon, you ask, reaching for a slice of the seed cake that sits on a plate in the middle of the table. Lily shakes her head. Quiet day. Sarah had someone earlier, and Josephine's still resting after what the doctor said. Mrs. Cartwright's in her office doing the books. A quiet afternoon is no bad thing. The real work happens in the evenings, anyway, when the men who come often come after their offices close, or the Noundan gentleman looks for fun after an evening at his club. Afternoons are often slower, more unsure. You break off a small piece of the seed cake, liking its thick, a bit sweet feel. Cook has a way with these simple foods, nothing fancy, but well made with good things. The caraway seeds add a special taste, sweet-smelling and a bit spicy. I might go out for a bit, then, you say, after finishing your cake. Need to get some hairpins and writing paper. Anyone want anything from the shops? Running small jobs during quiet times is allowed, even pushed for. Mrs. Cartwright thinks that fresh air is good, and that now Andon looks at normal life help keep the girls happy with their spot, as long as you're back well before the evening starts. There's no saying no. Both Lily and Emily say no to the offer of shopping. So, after finishing your tea, you head upstairs to get your big scarf and purse. The small leather purse holds your own money, tips from visitors. The small weekly pay Mrs. Cartwright gives, on top of room and board. Not much, but enough for small buys and the now and then treat. Your big scarf is wool, dark blue and warm. If a bit plain, nothing that would show you were different from any other working woman doing her shopping. You wrap it around your shoulders, feeling its well-known weight settle nicely. The wool is a bit scratchy on your neck, but in a nice way, grounding you in body feeling. The streets outside are busy with afternoon going-ons. Delivery carts rumble over the stone roads. Helpers run jobs for their bosses. Street sellers call their goods. You join this flow of people, unknown, in your plain dress and big scarf. No one looking at you would guess your work. You're just another young woman going about her day. There's freedom in this being unknown, in these short trips into plain life. The simple joy of walking at your own speed, picking your own way. Your muscles work smoothly as you walk on the not Tevin sidewalk, your breathing getting deeper on its own with the moving. The cool air feels good on your face after the closed-in warmth of the house. The pin shop is your first stop, a small shop pushed between a vegiseller and a book fixer. The bell above the door jingles as you come in, and the owner looks up from her work, her glasses sitting on the end of her nose. "Afternoon, miss," she says, neutral but not mean. "What can I help you with today?" "Hairpins, please," you reply. "The black ones, medium size." She nods, reaching under the counter for a small box. 6 pence for a dozen. Good quality. These won't bend out of shape like the cheap ones. You count out the coins with care. Not that money is very tight at the moment, but ways of saving are deeply learned. The owner wraps the hairpins in a small paper bag, passing it across the counter with a business-like nod. Next is the paper shop, 3 streets over. Here you buy a small pack of writing paper and envelopes, and a new pencil. The old man who serves you is more chatty than the pin shop woman, talking on the weather, asking if you're buying the paper for writing to a sweetheart. You smile and make vague answers, playing the role of a proper young woman with perfect acting skill. These small talks with the outside world have their own strange joy, the pretending of being normal, the short escape from your real life. For these few minutes, walking these few streets, you could be anyone, a shop girl, a teacher, a daughter running jobs for her family. But the story has its limits, its walls. There are streets you don't walk down, shops you don't go in. The proper tea room where ladies meet their friends is not for you. The church, with its judging tower, seems to follow you with unseen eyes. Even when unknown, there are reminders of your place. Your final stop is the baker's, where you get a small, nice thing. A jam tart, the pastry still a bit warm, the strawberry filling sweet and tangy. You eat it as you walk, liking each bite, licking a spot of jam from your finger with simple joy. Small joys, now satisfactions. That's the money of this life. The walk back to the house is slower, more wandering. You're in no hurry, and the moving feels good after a morning mostly spent inside. Your body moves easy, muscles working in ways, joints bending and stretching with each step. There's a good feeling in this basic working, this body skill. Your lungs fill and empty, your heart beats steady, your eyes take in the busy picture show of the London street. Just living, just being. By the time you get back to the house, the afternoon is moving toward evening. The way the light looks is changing, the shadows getting longer, the air taking on the special golden color that comes before sunset. You unlock the front door with your key. Each girl has one, another sign of Mrs. Cartwright's trust and good running, and step back into the warm inside. The house feels different now, filled with a soft energy. Evening getting ready is going on. You can hear moving upstairs, voices calling between rooms. The change is starting, from the quieter daytime beat to the busier evening pace. Mrs. Winters stops you in the hallway, her useful face set in its usual look of small disapproval. There you are, Mrs. Cartwright wants everyone ready by 7 tonight. We've had a few messages. Could be a busy evening. You nod, already in your mind, changing your plans. I'll start getting ready then, has Cook said when dinner will be. 5:30, early tonight, because of the bookings. She looks at the small bags in your hands. Got what you needed, did you? Yes, thank you. You hold up the paper bag of hairpins as proof. She nods, happy, and keeps on her way toward the kitchen, her keys jingling softly at her waist. Mrs. Winters does not disapprove of you yourself. She's fair in her way, but her spot needs a certain sternness, a space from the girls whose work she helps with, but does not do. Upstairs, the feeling is one of busy action. Doors stand open along the hallway, the girls moving between rooms, borrowing things, calling tips to each other. Evening getting ready is both by yourself and together, each woman in charge of her own look, but all helping each other with the parts that are hard to do alone. In your room, you find Lily, already half-dressed in her evening clothes, struggling with the buttons down the back of her green silk dress. You set down your buys and move to help her, your fingers working fast at the small cloth-covered buttons. Thanks, she says with relief. Thought I'd get a head start, since Mrs. Winters said it might be busy. Good idea. You finish the last button and step back to check the look. The green looks well on you, brings out your eyes. She turns to look at herself in the small mirror, patting her red-brown hair, which is already set in a fancy style, with borrowed hair pieces to add more. Do you think? Not too showy. Not at all. Nice, but you see it. Perfect. This sharing of nice words and making sure is another part of the getting ready show. The evening clothes are a costume of sorts. A uniform for the part you'll all play later. More fancy than daytime clothes. More showing in some ways. Worn in lower places. No bright reds or too much makeup here. First, a more full washing than the quick cleanup after Mr. Wilson. The water in the bowl is cold now, but feels good as you splash it over your face and neck. Then use a cloth for the rest of your body. The chill raises small bumps on your skin, a not bad feeling of being alive. From the chest, you take your own evening clothes, a dress of deep blue silk, a bit faded, but still nice. The color is good, with your dark hair and eyes. The cut nice to your body, without being clearly tempting. It's one of 3 such dresses you own, used in turn to make them last. Good clothes are a good buy in this work. They bring a better kind of visitor, get higher prices. Dressing is a set-way process. Fresh under things first, the fine cotton, then the body shaper, which you can hook at the front before turning it around and tightening the laces. Not too tight. You need to breathe with ease. Move easy, but enough to make the in-style shape. The slips follow, adding fullness to the skirt of the blue dress, which comes last, settling over the base like the final layer of a fancy creation. The body feelings ground you. The small tightness of the body shaper around your waist. Hair is next. You take down the simple knot of daytime, brushing out the dark waves until they shine. The newly bought hairpins are put to right-away use as you make a more fancy style. Pretty, with soft curls around your face and the main part held at the back of your head. A light touch of makeup finishes the change. Nothing clear. Mrs. Cartwright insists on a natural look. Just a bit of rice powder to smooth the skin. A touch of red for the cheeks and lips. Carefully blended to stop any natural look. The effect is soft, but it works. A small making better of your own features. A fresh, healthy glow. The final touch is smell. Not heavy perfume, but a light flower, water, dabbed at pulse spots, wrists, behind ears, the dip of your throat. The smell rises softly with your body's warmth. A clean, nice smell that hides any last hints of the day's doings. You step back, checking the result in the mirror. The change is done. From plain working woman to something more fine, more tempting. Not a lady, exactly. That story would not be believed. But a woman of certain charms, of special good points, someone worth spending time with, worth paying for. The clock in the hallway strikes 5:30, dinner time. You make your way downstairs, the silk dress rustling softly with each step, the small extra weight of the evening clothes, changing how you stand. Your movement, back straighter, steps more careful. The body difference helps the mind change, from private self to work self. Dinner is served in the dining room, not the kitchen. Another line between day and evening ways. The table is set simply but right, with clean cloth and good forks and knives. Mrs. Cartwright joins the girls for this meal, sitting at the head of the table in her own evening dress of dark purple silk. Her being there lifts the time, helps keep the ways she wants. Good, filling food to give, strength for the evening to come. Wine is served as well, a glass each, enough to make a nice warmth, not enough to dull the mind. Talk flows easy around the table. The shared meal is a moment of togetherness before the by-yourself work of the evening starts. You find yourself seated between Sarah and Emily, with Lily across from you. Josephine is not there, still resting on the doctor's orders. I heard Mr. Henderson might come tonight, Emily says, breaking off a piece of bread. Haven't seen him in weeks. Sarah nods, poking a piece of beef with her fork. Business trip to Glasgow, it seems. His normal night would have been last Thursday. This sharing of news goes on through the meal. Who might visit, who's been gone, which men who come often might be expected. It's partly work prep, partly the plain gossip of any workplace. The men you all serve become people in a shared story, their ways and wants known by all. Mrs. Cartwright listens more than she speaks, now and then fixing a small thing, or adding a piece of news the girls don't have. Her role is many things: boss, protector, rule giver, sometimes even teacher. She keeps a certain space, but there's no mean way in her running of things, no unneeded harshness. As dinner ends, she speaks to the table at large. Quick visitors. Mr. Harrington has asked for Emily for sure. Mr. Lawrence and Mr. Benson are expected around 8. Both are open to who is free. There may be others. A few messages hinted at possible visits. She stops, her look moving around the table. I expect everyone to act with their usual good ways. Remember, quality of help, not how many, is what keeps our good name. This little speech is part reminder, part pushing on. The meaning under it is clear. A busy night means good pay for everyone, but ways must not slip in the chase for the most money. It's what sets this house apart from many others, this balance between business and certain rules. As the plates are cleared by Betsy and Cook, Mrs. Cartwright gets up, showing the end of the together part of the evening. I'll be in my office for the next hour, then in the front room to meet guests. Good evening, ladies. With that, she leaves, her purple silk rustling so well as she goes out. The girls stay at the table a few moments longer, finishing their wine, stretching this last time of being mostly free before work starts for real. You sip the last of your wine, liking its fruity warmth as it slides down your throat. Your body feels relaxed, well-fed, ready for what's to come. The chair holds you up nicely. The dining room's warmth wraps you like a hug. This moment of quiet before the evening's doing has its own special peace. Your breathing is deep and even, your mind calm and here. Just this moment, just this feeling, that's all. Slowly, the girls go their ways, back to their rooms for final getting ready, to the front room to arrange things just so, to the kitchen for a last cup of tea before the night starts. You stay seated for a moment longer, liking this small pocket of stillness in the faster beat of the house. At last, you two get up, feeling the small weight of the silk dress settle around you as you stand. Your muscles move smoothly, your balance shifts on its own. The body feelings ground you in your body in the now moment. You straighten your shoulders, lift your chin a little, ready now. The evening stretches ahead, its exact shape still not known. There will be visitors, some known, some new. There will be the acting of charm, of interest, of want, the body acts that are the real thing being sold, the small talk and large silences, the not expected moments of link or being apart, but all that is still to come. For now, there's just this change, this movement from one state to another. You walk toward the front room, where the first act of the evening will begin. Your steps are careful, your breathing steady. The blue silk rustles softly with each step, a gentle sound with your movement. Your hand trails lightly along the wall as you walk, feeling the small feel of the paper under your fingertips. here, aware, centered in your body, and this moment, just like that, easy and calm. The front room has been changed for the evening. The fire burns brightly in the grate, pushing away the forever London chill. A bottle of sherry and a few glasses stand ready on the small table, with a dish of sugared almonds and some small, fancy cookies. Red, that goes well with her fair skin, her blonde hair in a fancy style with small pearl pins. She looks up as you join her. "You look well," she says, checking your look with a work eye. The blue brings out your eyes. "Thank you," you reply, settling into one of the armchairs. The cover is a bit worn, but still nice, the velvet smooth. Under your hands, quiet still, she nods. "Early yet." Mrs. Cartwright says the first booking isn't until 8. She fixes a fold of her dress, smoothing the rich cloth with skilled hands. Might be slow to start, but busy later. It's the end of the month. Gentlemen have just been paid. This useful thought reminds you of Sarah's past. She worked as a clerk in a cloth shop before coming to this life, and still has a mind for figures and business ways. It's why Mrs. Cartwright trusts her with the account books sometimes. The talk moves to plain topics as you both wait. A new shop that's opened nearby, thoughts about if cooks stay and cough, needs a doctor's help, if the coal man will come tomorrow, as said. Normal worries, home matters, the kind of talk that might happen in any home. Slowly, the front room fills as the other girls join you. Emily in pale green silk that looks so nice with her dark curls. Lily in her rich green that shows off her red-brown hair and fair skin. Even Josephine shows up, though she's under strict orders not to see anyone tonight. Just to sit in the front room for company and talk. Building ties that might lead to future work. Mrs. Winters brings in tea, another part of the evening show. Unlike the plain clay mugs used during the day, the evening tea is served in proper china cups, thin enough that the lamplight shines through them when lifted. The tea itself is the same, but how it's served lifts it, makes the feeling of being fine that Mrs. Cartwright insists on. You take your cup, feeling its light weight in your hand, the warmth soaking through the fine china to your fingers. The rim is smooth on your lips as you sip. The known tastes both nice and waking up. The show of it, the careful holding, the careful drinking, helps settle you into the evening's way of thinking. Each small movement, careful, held, aware. The talk ebbs and flows around you, a nice background to your own thoughts. Your body feels relaxed but awake, ready for the evening's work, but not tight or worried. The body shaper gives gentle support, the silk dress, a nice feeling on your skin. You're aware of how you sit, keeping the nice line that's been trained into you over these 2 years. Back straight, but not stiff, shoulders back, chin a bit lifted. The hallway clock strikes 8, its chime ringing through the house, almost. At the same time, there's a knock at the front door. The first visitor of the evening coming. Mrs. Cartwright appears in the front room doorway, her purple silk rustling so well as she moves. "Emily, Mr. Harrington has arrived. He's asked for you for sure." Emily sets down her teacup with a small nod, gets up with grace, and follows Mrs. Cartwright out. The deal will take place in the ladies' private office. Money shared, special wants noted, walls set. Then Emily will walk Mr. Harrington upstairs to her room, not the blue room of daytime visitors, but her own personal space. A small vase of flowers, a bottle of cologne, maybe a few drops of scented oil in the lamp to perfume the air softly. The women left keep on with their quiet talk, but there's a change in energy now. The evening has for sure begun. Any minute, the door might knock again, bringing another visitor, another job. Sure enough, barely 10 minutes pass before the knock comes again. This time, it's Sarah who is called, a man who comes often, Mr. Lawrence, who visits every other Tuesday with sure timing. Lily leans toward you after Sarah leaves, her voice low. I heard from Cook that there's a new gentleman expected tonight. It seems quite rich, a banker or some such. Mrs. Cartwright was very clear about making sure the best sherry was out. This kind of news is worth a lot, knowing what to expect, being able to get ready the right way. Different visitors want different things, and it's not always about the body act. Some want talk, some want feeling sorry, some want praise. Seeing what each man truly wants, past the clear thing, is a key skill in this work. Did she say anything else about him? You ask, just as quiet. Lily shakes her head, just that he's new to the house, but came with a good word from someone. Mrs. Cartwright trusts. The talk is stopped by another knock. This time, it's your name that Mrs. Cartwright calls. You set down your teacup, smooth your skirts, and get up with skilled grace. Your muscles answer smoothly, your movements careful and thought out as you cross to the door. You're aware of the small sway of your skirts, the soft shifting of the silk on your slips, each step grounded, balanced. In the hallway, Mrs. Cartwright waits with a gentleman you don't know. He's tall, maybe in his late 30s, with the well-fed look of being rich and the sure way of someone used to being in charge. His clothes are top quality, not showy, but costly made, with the quiet fineness that speaks of true wealth, not wanting to be. Mary, this is Mr. Hamilton, Mrs. Cartwright says, smooth. Mr. Hamilton, may I show you, Mary, one of our most skilled young ladies. He takes your hand for a moment, his grip firm but not rough, his eyes, gray and sharp, check you with clear liking, but without the open, staring way some men show. The joy is mine, I'm sure. Mrs. Cartwright makes a small move toward her office. If you'll just step this way for a moment, Mr. Hamilton, to settle the business things. Mary, maybe you could wait in the front room. This is the normal way. The money talks are never done in front of the girls, keeping the story that this is a social meeting, not a business deal. You nod and return to the front room while they go into the office. Lily raises an eyebrow, asking, when you come back in. The new one, yes, you confirm, taking your seat again. Seems the proper type. Banker or lawyer, I'd guess, from the clothes and way. She nods, knowing the unsaid check. Different types of men need different ways. The proper ones often want more fancy pretending, more talk, more courting show, more sureness that this is somehow different from a simple swap of money for help. Her side, Mary, maybe you'd be so good as to show Mr. Hamilton to your room. I believe you'll find you have much in common to discuss. This is her way of telling the special needs. The stress on discuss hints he's paid for talk as well as body help, not strange among the more learned visitors. You get up again, moving toward him with a warm smile. Would you care for some sherry first, Mr. Hamilton, or shall we go right upstairs? I believe I would enjoy a glass, he replies, his way of speaking confirming your guess about his social place, learned, but not royal, upper middle class, probably. You pour 2 small glasses from the bottle, handing one to him with a skilled move that lets your fingers brush against his. A small, planned closeness that makes the first body link. His answer, a slight smile, a moment of held-eye look, tells you he's not unhappy with such moves. The talk starts with easy topics, the not-in-season cold weather, a recent concert at the Albert Hall that he went to, a neutral comment about the growing traffic in London streets. You listen with care, answering with just enough knowledge and seeming to be interesting, without fighting his clear self-view as the more worldly and knowing person. It's a known dance, this talk, leading without seeming to lead, making a space where he can feel interesting and liked. Your body talk helps the look, leaning a bit forward to show interest, keeping eye look, offering small smiles at right moments, all planned, all skilled, yet done with enough real care to seem natural. When his glass is empty, you set your own down, still half full. You never drink much while working, and stand. Shall we keep on with our talk somewhere more comfortable, Mr. Hamilton? He nods, getting up as well. Lead the way, my dear. Your room is on the second floor at the back of the house. It's small, but with care set up to make a look of closeness and comfort. The bed, larger and more fancy than the one you really sleep in, fills the space, made up with clean cloths and a few pillows. A small fireplace holds a small fire, enough to take the chill from the air. The washstand is set up with a fresh jug of water, clean towels, and a bar of good soap. A screen in the corner gives a look of privacy for undressing. The gas lamp is turned low, making a gentle, nice light that softens flaws and makes a feeling of warmth. A small vase of hothouse flowers, a fancy thing but one that Mrs. Cartwright thinks is worth it for evening guests, adds a touch of color and smell. Mr. Hamilton looks around with liking. Charming, he comments. Quite charming. Thank you, you reply, closing the door softly behind you. Please make yourself at home. What follows is the normal way of such meetings. More talk, growing slowly, more personal, the slow change from talking to touching, the deal, unsaid but clear, of what will and won't happen. The body act itself, done with work, skill, and seeming joy. Mr. Hamilton proves to be a thoughtful partner, not rough or wanting, mindful of shared joy, even in this bought closeness. When it's over, he doesn't right away pull back, but stays, an arm draped easy across your waist, as you lie beside him in the messy bed. You're very good at what you do, he says, after a while, his voice thoughtful, not just lustful. Thank you, you reply, simply. There's no point in false shyness or fancy saying no. You are good at this work, having learned its skills as hard as you once learned sewing. How did you come to be here? He asks, his tone curious, but not judging, if you don't mind my asking. You seem different from what I expected. This question is not strange from new guests. They want to hear a story, usually one that proves their ideas or pleases some special story they find nice. The tricked innocent, the fallen lady, the secret-loving woman who couldn't be held by normal society. You could make up such a tale easy enough, but something about his way, truly interested, not just nosy, makes you lean toward a version closer to truth. I was a dressmaker, you tell him, your voice matter of fact. The pay wasn't enough to live on, not really. 16 hours a day, eyes hurting in bad light, fingers bleeding in winter, and still never quite enough for rent and food. The conditions more comfortable. He's quiet for a moment, his look thoughtful, a smart money decision. Then, yes, you agree, though not one the world views smartly. This small, deep talk seems to interest him. He props himself up on one elbow, looking at you with more attention. Do you find that strange, that what is really a market deal is viewed with such moral wrong-saying? The talk goes on in this not expected way, a real talk of money, morals, and man-woman rules. It's refreshing in its way, this treatment as a thinking being, not just a body. Your mind works with the ideas, your answers showing more of your smarts than you normally show to visitors. In time, the hallway clock chimes the hour, a reminder that the bought time is coming to an end. Mr. Hamilton sighs, then smiles sadly. "I've spent more time talking than I meant," he says, starting to gather his spread-out clothes. "Though I don't regret it in the least." "Nor do I," you reply, honest. "It's been a very nice meeting, not hard on the body and good for the mind. You're welcome to return any time. Polite, clean, interesting to talk to, and likely rich enough to visit often." He dresses fast but without rushing, keeping pride in what could be an unsure change. When he's fully clothed again, in your hand, a move that somehow feels more polite, less like a deal. "Thank you," you say, not reaching for it yet. "It was truly interesting." He nods, seeming pleased by this answer. "Perhaps I'll return next week, if that would be okay." "I'd be so happy," you tell him, the work phrase again carrying unusual truth. With a final smile and slight bow, he leaves. You hear his steps on the stairs, then Mrs. Winter's voice greeting him in the hallway below. She'll see him out, quiet, making sure he doesn't meet anyone coming or going. Alone now, you begin the after-visitor way, washing, changing the cloths, making the room right again. The body movements are on their own, needing little thought. Your body knows this dance well. The fast stripping of the bed, the full but quick washing at the bowl, the smooth remaking with fresh sheets from the chest. The same actions are almost like a prayer, letting your mind float. The meeting with Mr. Hamilton was strange enough to make you think. The real mind talk, the treatment as a person with thoughts worth hearing. These are rare in this life. Most men want a story, a way out, body release. They don't want real talk, real connection. Yet, it would be a mistake to read too much into it, to make a story of special knowing, or very special times. That he chose to use some of that time for talk doesn't, at its base, change the kind of the deal. This clear-eyed look isn't bitter or sad, just real. You've made it in this life, partly by keeping such walls, such clearness about what is and isn't real. It protects you from the dangers of false hope, of wrongly placed heart feelings. The room made right again. You check your look in the small mirror. The meeting was pretty gentle, needing only small fixes to your hair and dress. A few pins put back, a crease smoothed away, a touch more color to your lips. Ready again. Before going back downstairs, you take a moment just to breathe, to center yourself. Standing in the middle of the room, feet planted hard on the floor, you close your eyes for a moment. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Slow, deep breaths that open your ribs against the gentle hold of the body shaper. This moment of on-purpose stillness helps keep the meetings apart. Mr. Hamilton is now past. Whoever comes next is not yet here. Just this breath, this moment of being only yourself, belongs all to you. You feel the solid wood floors under your feet, the small movement of air on your skin, the rise and fall of your chest with each breath. Here, grounded, centered. The hallway clock chimes the half hour, pulling you back to knowing time is passing. You open your eyes, take one more deep breath, and move toward the door. The silk of your dress whispers round you as you walk, a gentle sound with your movement. Your hand on the doorknob is steady, your body balanced and ready, ready for whatever, whoever, comes next. The house has taken on its full evening beat now. As you go down the stairs, you can hear many voices from different rooms, the whisper of talk, and now and then laugh, the clink of glasses, want and getting, story and real life, playing out behind many closed doors. In the front room, you find Lily alone, redoing the sherry glasses and straightening the pillows between visitors. She looks up as you come in, her look brightening. There you are. How was the banker man? Cook was right about him being wealthy. Did you see that gold watch chain? You smile, settling onto the sofa beside her. He was fine, talkative, smart, might become a regular. She nods, knowing all the unsaid look in these simple phrases. Lucky you. I had old Mr. Watson again. You know, the one with the wandering hands and the peppermint drops he's always sucking. Breathes like a steam engine. That one, no need to explain. To make right, to defend, just taking the real life you all move through. Lily gets up to add another small log, her movements saving and skilled. The fresh wood catches quickly, sending up a small flare of brighter flame before settling into a steady burn. You watch the fires dance, letting your look soften, your thoughts quiet. The warmth reaches you even several feet away, a gentle touch on your skin. The front room smells of wood smoke, sherry, the soft perfumes worn by the girls, and the staying smell of the house flowers set in a vase on the fireplace shelf. Known smells, nice in their links. Your body feels nicely tired, but not worn out. The kind of body awareness that comes from being active, but not pulled too far. The silk dress holds you gently. The body shaper supports, without holding too tight. Your feet, in evening slippers, not the stronger boots of daytime, are tucked under you on the sofa, the muscles relaxed and nice. This quiet moment between visitors is another of the small spaces that belong to you alone, not needed to act, to talk, to answer to another's needs or wants. Just living, just being in the warm room with its gentle light and known smells. Your breathing on its own slows, deepens, in and out, easy and calm. Lily settles back beside you, her own way of sitting relaxed as well. Quiet night for late November, she notes. You nod, looking toward the heavy curtained window, where sometimes the sound of raindrops can still be heard, patting on the glass, probably, though it might pick up later. Theater crowds and such. This useful look at business life is another part of the work mindset, knowing the ways, the outside things that change your work. Weather, payday times, big things in the city, all change the flow of visitors, the possible pay. The talk moves to other topics. A new dress Emily is having made. Thoughts about if Josephine will get well fast or need long rest. Cook's plans for Sunday dinner. Plain talk. Home worries. The kind of talk that might happen in any home where women live together. Time passes in this peaceful break, marked by the gentle ticking of the clock and the slow settling of the fire. Your muscles feel loose and nice, your mind calm and not worried. Your breathing matches on its own with the beat of the house, the far-off whisper of voices, the now and then creak of floorboards, the soft rustle of cloth as Lily moves beside you. The front door knocker sounds, another visitor coming. You both straighten a little, work awareness coming back. Mrs. Cartwright's voice in the hallway, welcoming whoever has come, then her showing up in the front room doorway, her look finding you. Mary, a gentleman has asked for your company. Are you free? You get up smoothly from the sofa, feeling the nice weight of the silk dress settling around you as you stand. Your body feels rested, ready. Of course, Mrs. Cartwright, she nods, pointing for you to follow her to the hallway where the next visitor waits. As you move forward, you're aware of the balanced rightness of your steps, the gentle sway of your skirts, the deep, even beat of your breathing, centered, grounded, here in your body, in this moment. You're ready for whatever comes next, moving with calm aim into the still-going evening. The evening goes on its careful way, one visitor following another in the carefully run beat of the house. Some faces known, some new, some meetings short and simple, others more complex. Through it all, you keep the work self-caring, charming, seemingly happy with each man's company, no matter the real life. By 11 o'clock, there's a natural break. The early evening visitors have gone. The later ones, those coming from theaters or gentlemen's clubs, haven't yet come. The house settles into a short, quiet time, the girls gathering in the kitchen for a light supper and a healing cup of tea. The kitchen at this hour has its own special charm. The main cooking for the day is done, but the large stove still gives off comfy heat. The air smells of baked bread and the beef stew from dinner, with hints of soap from the washing up, and the always there coal smoke that goes through all of London. Cook has gone to bed. Her day starts earliest, but has left out bread, cheese, cold meats, and a fruit tart for the girls to help themselves. You sink with thanks into a chair at the kitchen table, feeling the solid wood hold up your weight. The evening's doings have left you tired, but not worn out. Your body aware of its work, but not pulled past being okay. The chair holds you, letting your muscles let go of some of their careful hold. That's nice, just letting yourself relax a bit. Emily is already seated, her plate holding a small pick of bread and cheese. Her green silk dress is a bit rumpled now, her carefully set hair starting to loosen from its pins. The evening's work shows in these small things, these slow wearings away of the perfect look made hours earlier. Busy night, you ask, reaching for a plate. She nods, swallowing a bite of cheese. For already. And Mrs. Cartwright says there might be a group coming later, some gentleman from a club dinner. Lily comes in as Emily speaks, catching the last words. I heard the same private dining room at the George, it seems. 6 or 8 men at least, if they all come. This news brings mixed feelings. More visitors means more pay, but also more work, when you're already feeling the evening's weight. Still, it's what you're here for, the point of this life. You pick some bread, cheese, and a slice of cold beef, placing them neatly on your plate. The simple food is nice after the evening's work, solid, satisfying, no pretending or acting needed. In its eating, Sarah joins you, bringing the teapot from where it keeps warm at the edge of the stove. The known show of pouring follows, the steaming amber liquid flowing into cups, the offer of milk or sugar, the thankful first sip. The tea is strong and sweet, bringing you back after hours of work smiles and planned charm. The talk around the table is slow, relaxed. No one has much energy for fancy talk or big topics. Instead, there are small notes, minor complaints, the sharing of short stories about the evening's visitors. It's nice, this shared knowing, this common feeling that needs no explaining or making right. You feel yourself unwinding more in this peaceful break. The tea's warmth spreads through your chest. The food fills your hunger. The known company calms your social self. Your breathing gets deeper on its own, your shoulders dropping a bit as tight feelings keep letting go. Just easy. Now, that's it. Too soon, the rest time ends. Mrs. Winters shows up in the kitchen doorway. Her always serious look may be a touch more stern than usual. "They're here," she says, with no preamble. 6 gentlemen from the club dinner. Mrs. Cartwright wants everyone in the front room right away. There's a group sigh, quickly held back. Work duty takes over. Plates are set aside, teacups emptied, quick checks made of hair and dress. The short time of relaxing pulls back, replaced by the needed focus of work. In the front room, Mrs. Cartwright is already talking to the newcomers, 6 men, as told, ranging in age from maybe 30 to 60, all in evening dress that shows signs of a long dinner, a bit loosened ties, vests holding minor stains of wine or food. Their voices are louder than the usual front room sound, their laughter more often. The effects of good wine and man friendship making them less held back than single visitors. Mrs. Cartwright looks up as you and the other girls come in, her look showing nothing but work welcome. "Ah, here are the ladies now. Gentlemen, may I present Emily, Lily, Sarah, and Mary. I'm sure you'll find their company most fine." What follows is a more complex deal than usual, with many visitors and many girls. There must be sorting, matching, agreement on who goes with whom. Some men have wants. They like blondes, or small bodies, or a certain way. Some girls have their own wants, or special skills. Mrs. Cartwright guides this fine process with skilled skill, making sure everyone is happy without anyone feeling they've gotten less than their friends. You find yourself paired with one of the younger men, maybe 32 or 33, with dark hair already going back a bit, and a neat mustache. He says his name is Edward, speaking in the careful way of someone watching their drunkenness with small success. "Delighted," he says, bowing a bit over your hand, "absolutely delighted. And may I say, the blue of your dress is most pretty." The normal nice word is said with enough warmth to hint he really means it, or at least thinks he does, in this moment. You smile, thanking him with the skilled grace that such comments always get. The work machine of your mind is already checking, sorting, planning the way, a bit drunk but not unable, keen but not pushy, probably married. There's a pale line on his finger where a ring has been just taken off. The talk that follows is known in its way. Light social topics giving way to more personal notes. The slow start of flirty things. The soft change from talking to touching. Your body plays its part on its own. The right looks, the right answers. To his more and more bold, nice words, the carefully planned body closeness that invites without promising too much, too soon. In time, the moment comes when the front room talk has done its job. Like a well-practiced play, all the couples get to this point within minutes of each other. Pairs getting up from chairs and sofas, moving toward the hallway and the stairs. Beyond, each girl leading her visitor to the right room. The meeting with Edward is not special, not very nice, nor very hard. He's too touched by wine to make things long, too normal to ask for anything strange. When it's over, he falls into a light sleep, his breathing deep and steady beside you in the messy bed. You lie still for a few moments, giving yourself this small time of rest. The room is warm from the fire and recent doing, the air heavy with the mixed smells of sex, cologne, and the staying trace of your flower water. Outside, rain has started again, patting on the window in a not-heaven beat. Far-off sounds come through the house, voices, laughter, the creak of floorboards as someone passes in the hallway. Your body feels the known feelings of these moments after. The small stickiness of skin, the special muscle awareness that follows such doings, the slow return to normal breathing. Not bad, just body truths, the body's honest answers, under the work, acting. Edward moves beside you, moving from sleep to being awake with a small start. Oh, he says, for a moment lost. I must have ... I do apologize. Not at all, you assure him, the work voice coming back smoothly. You seemed peaceful. I didn't wish to disturb you. He smiles, happy with this kind view of his short lapse. The after part goes on by the usual way. Short, a bit unsure talk. The careful separating of bodies. The set way taking back of spread out clothing. You help him with his tie, your fingers skilled with the known knot. He thanks you with real thanks for this small help, for the larger one before it, for the whole made-up feeling that lets him return to his normal life with certain needs met, and his self-view safe. Once he's gone, you do the now-known way of making right, washing, changing cloths, ordering the room. The body actions are on their own, needing little thought. Your body knows these movements, does them with saving grace, while your mind floats in the quiet aftertime. It's been a long day, you realize, from the early morning waking, through the different parts, chores, doctors, visit, afternoon visitor, evening, getting ready, many evening guests, each needing different parts of yourself, different kinds of care and acting. The built-up weight of all these hours, all these meetings, settles into your knowing as a deep body and mind tiredness. Not a bad feeling, this special tiredness. There's good feeling in it. Work done, pay earned, hard things met. Your body feels fully used, but not hurt. Your mind tired, but not upset. Just the natural being tired that follows long effort and care. The body and brain show that rest is now needed. The clock in the hallway chimes 1. Morning already. 4. Real, though still, the deep of night by any real measure. The rain keeps on its gentle drumming on the window, now joined by the far-off rumble of thunder. A real storm growing by the sound of it. You finish the rooms, making right and check. Your look one final time. The blue silk dress is for sure showing the effects of the long evening. Small lines set in, a small loosening of the careful fit. Your hair has partly gotten out of its pins, even with many fixes, and the soft makeup has worn away to almost nothing. Still okay, but the perfect look of early evening is long gone. Returning downstairs, you find the front room empty, except for Mrs. Cartwright, who sits in her usual chair, finishing some notes in her account book. She looks up as you come in, her smart eyes taking in your look with a single look. I believe that's all for tonight, Mary, she says, her voice showing the first hints of her own tiredness. The last gentlemen have gone, and I don't expect more at this hour, especially with the weather turning. Relief flows through you at these words. Leave to end the workday, to take off the work self, to go to the privacy of your own true bed and real rest. Thank you, Mrs. Cartwright. Shall I help with anything before going up? She shakes her head, closing her book with a sure movement. No need. Mrs. Winters has seen to the doors and windows. Cook will handle things in the morning, as usual. She gets up, smoothing her purple silk with unsewn precision. Good night, then. Good night, Mrs. Cartwright. This short talk marks the real end of the working day, the change back to private life. You climb the stairs to the top floor, each step needing a bit more work than it did hours earlier. Your body is for sure ready for rest. The built-up tiredness of the day making itself fully known, now that work needs have stopped. The bedroom you share with Lily welcomes you with its known plainness. No visitors ever come here. This is purely private space. The one place in the house that belongs just to you and your roommate. The two small beds, with their plain cotton sheets and wool blankets. The washstand, with its plain clay bowl. Not the fine china of the visitor rooms. Lily is already here, seated on her bed in her nightdress, brushing out her long red-brown hair with slow, tired strokes. She looks up as you come in, offering a smile that carries all the shared knowing of your common life. Finished for the night, she asks, keeping on with her brushing. Yes, thank God. Mrs. Cartwright says that's all. With the storm coming on, you begin the process of undressing, your fingers working at buttons and hooks with on-night's own skill, even with their tiredness. How was your evening? She shrugs, the move speaking well in its plainness, the usual, nothing special. Made decent money though. That last one was giving. This sharing of very little news is enough. You both know the real life behind the short words, the complex feelings shrunk into these simple phrases. There's comfort in this shared knowledge, this lack of need for explaining or making right. The blue silk dress comes off with relief, the body shaper following with even greater good feeling. Your lungs open fully for the first time in hours as the tight garment is set aside. The cool air of the bedroom feels wonderful on your skin. A small body joy that belongs all to yourself. The nightdress that follows is plain cotton, well-worn and soft from many washings. You unpin your hair, letting it fall loose around your shoulders, then start to brush it out as Lily has done. The same strokes are calming. Do you ever wonder what it would be like? Lily asks, all of a sudden her voice quiet in the lamplit room. A different life, I mean. The question doesn't surprise you. You keep on brushing as you think of your answer. Or sometimes you admit, but then I remember what it was really like. The hunger, the cold, the always fear of ending up in the workhouse. At least here we eat well, we're warm, we have some say over our lives. She nods, taking this real-life look. I guess that's it, isn't it? Not good versus bad, just different kinds of difficult, different prices to pay. Yes, you agree, setting down your brush, different prices. This small moment of shared thought feels worth a lot. A knowing of the real life you both move through, without either story-making or no hope, just clear-eyed knowing of the world as it is. The choices open to women like yourselves in this time and place. The talk moves to more now matters as you both finish your getting ready for sleep, plans for the morning, a reminder about laundry day. Thoughts about if the storm will change tomorrow's deliveries. Plain worries, home details, the holding on small things of daily life. Daily, finally ready. You put out the lamp and slip under the covers of your bed. You move a little, finding that perfect spot where everything lines up just right. That's better. Outside, the storm has grown stronger. Rain drums steady on the window, wind now and then blowing hard to rattle the panes. But inside is warmth, shelter, the deep quiet that comes at the end of a long day's work. Your eyes close on their own. Your breathing gets deeper and slows. Lily's voice comes softly through the darkness. Night, Mary, good night. Lily, you whisper in answer, the words a bit blurred with coming sleep. The day's doings begin to loosen their hold on your mind, the special memories slowly giving way to more general looks, feelings, sensations. The body truth of your body in the bed becomes your main awareness, the weight of the blanket, the softness of the pillow under your head, the nice heaviness of your arms and legs as they relax all the way. Your breathing finds its natural sleeping beat, deep, slow, steady, in and out, easy and calm. Each breath out seems to carry you deeper into relaxing. Each breath in brings you closer to the waiting world of sleep. Your mind grows quiet, thoughts becoming less clear, less asking for care. The sounds of the storm outside make a perfect background for sleep. The steady patter of rain, the sound and rumble of thunder, now more far off, the soft sighing of wind around the house's corners. Nature's lullaby, old and working. Your knowing begins to float on this gentle sea of sound, floating, not swimming, carried, not moving by your own work. In this sleepy state, at the edge of sleep, a kind of wisdom sometimes comes out. Not the sharp clearness of full being awake, nor the mixed-up pictures of dreams, but something in between. A view that sees past the now struggles and small wins of daily life to the bigger ways of human feeling. Your life in this old-time special house is just one tiny thread in the huge cloth of women's feelings through history. Difficult, yes, dangerous in its way, morally said to be bad by the world, that at the same time makes the conditions that make it needed and the want that makes it pay, but also a place of certain freedoms not found somewhere else. Money, freedom, however small, woman togetherness, however made hard by winning, say, over your daily life, however held back by bigger social forces. The weight of history, of all the women who came before you, finding their complex paths through similarly held back choices, feels for a moment here, not as a weight, but as a kind of company. You're not the first to move on these waters, not the last. The small things change, the fashions, the special money ways, the exact social rules. But some main quality of the feeling stays the same across time. This thought brings a strange comfort as you sink deeper towards sleep. Your breathing gets even slower, your body heavier on the bedpad. So nice now, just letting go all the way. The old-time world outside keeps on with its complex dance, the strict social levels, the deep nautical ways, the fancy two-faced ways that let it all work. But here, in this room, in this moment, there's just the simple truth of a human body needing rest, a mind looking for the new start of sleep. The most basic needs of living, not changed since the start of humans. Your knowing of the room grows, dimmer as sleep comes closer. The body feelings of the bed, the sounds of the storm, even the knowing of your own breathing, all begin to fade, to pull back like a tide pulling back from shore. What is left is just a gentle floating feeling, a peaceful drifting toward not knowing. Sleep now. Let yourself sink deeper into that perfect relaxing. Your eyelids are heavy, so heavy it would take too much work to open them now. Your arms and legs feel nicely weighted, not able to move, even if you wanted to, which you don't. You just want to drift all the way down into deep, restful sleep. That's it. Just let go all the way. The day is done. The work is finished. Nothing more needed of you now, except to rest, to make new, to dream, maybe of different chances, different worlds. But for now, just sleep, deep and peaceful, easy and calm. Sleep now, sleep well, drifting deeper with each breath, down and down, into perfect, complete rest.